Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to Madden 18 on EA Sports. We're on to the divisional round now. 2 steps away from playing on the biggest stage in sports. It's the Chargers going up against the Jaguars.
Larry, we welcome our viewers to Duval County, the northern part of Florida, and the largest city in the Sunshine State, as EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Everbank Field here in Jacksonville. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24. first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13.
Detroit now. Detroit. Leopard. Now let's go. No. Check. Patriot.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. On is the Chargers punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Gun! Hurry up, here we go! 3-19! Black 99 Philly, here we go! Hurry up, here we go! Blue 90!
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
6 yards here to go for the offense on 2nd down.
Double tight, guys. Double tight. Hey.
Set!
We got three. 3 down.
Black 99 Philly, here we go! Watch you now, Barney! Hurry up,
They'll run it again with Fournette. And he'll get this one up to the 26. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
All right, here we go. Detroit! Watch it now, Barney! 3-19!
Back to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's the punter, Jeff Locke, to kick it away.
All day, baby, all day.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Chargers getting set to go. And the first drive, 3-and-out. 2nd possession. Let's see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. And it may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They kind of got to look at them. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good start. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Yes, sir. You don't want that.
All right, here we go. Green, 30. Black 99.
Eat.
No. Check. Patriot. Gun. No. Check. Patriot.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And this this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, you know, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Watch tight end. Tight right, tight right.
Here we go now. They'll look to throw here. The screen pass here to Cohen. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for fourth down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out there a little extra emotion.
Hurry up, here we go.
So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Here we go now. Green, 30. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. So the D-line's going to spread out.
He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right. Hurry up. Here we go. Blue, 90. Three down. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Crash.
Now back to throw. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
But no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
The punter lock out there now as he sends it away. And this will be touched by a member of the kicking team right on the midfield stripe. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. This is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Now Gordon on first down. Oh, eluding the tackle. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
Detroit! Now let's go. Green, 39. No. Check. Patriot. Now let's go. Watch the ship.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Going up top. Oh, nearly picked.
Watch it.
And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop any defensively. Third down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
Watch it now, Barney.
He'll try to run it. Here's Gordon. And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
Back. Oh,
On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on to kick it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Fair catch called for right around the 11-yard line. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
And this is their third drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about what kind of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up.
Only able to make it to the 15 after the broken tackle. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Again, it's Fournette, and he's got room. And they'll get him down here at the 23. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon.
Gun! Here we go now. All right, now, look, here we go now. Blue line. No. Check. Patriot.
Back to throw now on first down.
Slam.
Throws to the side, complete to Keenan Allen. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out.
Double tight. Set. Green 39.
Here's a give to Fournette. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
Too tight. Now let's go. No. Check. Patriot. No. Hey, switch. Here we go now. Detroit. No. Check. Patriot. Leopard. Detroit. Alert 3.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. Powers through him. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Tight end left. 4 down. Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Watch 49.
Fournette, a first down carry. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Man left. Hey. You got 3. All right, here we go. 3 down. Green 39. No. Check. Patriot. Say. Over. Watch the twist.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14.
Tight end right. Set.
He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And the Chargers coming out on the field now. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. Second down following the incompletion.
Tight left.
Watch him now. Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319. No. Check. Patriot.
Tight dog.
Looking to throw. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. They'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up the 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 30. Now a hit and a loose football. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
I remember sitting in special teams meetings, and at some point during the meeting, the coach would always say, you better treat this one just like you're playing offense or defense. It's a big part of the game. And we just saw evidence of why right there with that fumble.
Yeah, fumble on the punt, and after it was turning up to be a pretty decent return.
Yeah, a really nice return. They were going to be set up okay, and the offense would feel good running onto the field. And now the defense has to trot out there and slow them down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to air one out. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So 2nd and 10 here.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
A toss play. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The Chargers on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. He'll look to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. On is the Chargers punter now. He's been terrific so far. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Escaping the pressure right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
3-19. No.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Watch tight end. We got 3, fellas. We got 3.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. 3 down.
Leopard. Here we go now. Blue 90.
Switch it. Come on.
Gun. All right, here we go.
Nickel.
Blue 90.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
All right, here we go. Leopard. Green 39.
Watch safety green.
Detroit.
Safety's green.
Here we go.
They'll set up a throw.
Alert 3.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
Hurry up. Here we go.
Mike. Mike 57. Ricky.
Leopard. Here we go now.
On 3rd down, Fournette. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And Myers able to knock it through. And the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. And we were scoreless up until this point in the second quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along, or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline and puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Watch number 86. Watch 86.
Set. Blue 90.
Bunt
The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Now this time he'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. Third down.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they? When they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown. And this one, they help force another incompletion.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. And
he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Well, they fight another down, right?
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Now they go screen, it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
85 is coming. 85 is coming. Watch him. Watch him.
Set. 3-19. Leopard. Leopard.
Bus formation. Come on, boys. Come on.
Detroit. Detroit.
Check 36.
They'll set up to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Robinson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Crash. Last stop.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half.
They don't want it.
No.
Hey, check 24. Watch 24.
Detroit.
And they're going to go soft on the corners.
Over.
They'll throw now on the final play. Looking long for Westbrook. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup as we send you downstate to Orlando to check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's got some space here. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Jaguars.
It's all about taking words and bringing them to life. At halftime, I will guarantee you in their locker room, they talked about pressing the kicking game because you can get an advantage if you do it right, and they just did.
It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. A good pickup there, a 22. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Too little, Cupcake.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They're going to look to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Miles Jack can just flat out cover. Doesn't matter who's out there, and he can do it really well in man. How about what he just did there in zone, though? Eyes in the right place, saw where the ball was going, reacted appropriately, and knocked it away.
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down.
Man left, man left.
Hurry up, here we go.
Hey,
No, check. Patriot.
They'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
No, check. Patriot.
On 3rd down, it's Cohen. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. On is the Chargers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars getting set to go. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
7 yards to go on 2nd down.
Tight end right.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Four down.
Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
We got double up.
No, check. Patriot. Gun.
Watch the ship.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Allen has it, left side. And down he'll go at the 25. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Crash. Oh, boy, I know you felt that one.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage, look defensively.
Now let's go.
They'll look to throw here. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. When they need to play on 3rd down, you kind of know what direction the ball's going, but the defense knew it too.
Yeah, it's a good call because they wanted to put 2 men on him, and they did. Dare him to throw into double coverage. Really what you're saying is, let's see if one of your other receivers can beat us.
And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. to head back on the field.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first. Fresh set of downs here. This is Gordon as they go to him again. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Get in them holes. Set. Detroit. Detroit. Shit.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. This is Gordon on the dump off. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
Double tight, double tight.
They run. This is Cohen. Flashy little move, but unable to reach the 40. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I once had a defensive player in the NFL tell me, if I beat and dominate the guy across from me, I'm helping my team. Well, winning one-on-one battles is always a part of the game, but when you have good team defense, as we just saw there, one broken tackle, but he didn't get away because the rest of the guys arrived to put him on the ground.
Tight left, tight left. Over.
Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers.
Check.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The Chargers on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Gun! Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island. Over!
He'll drop to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Gordon. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Watch him now, Barney. Watch him now, Barney. No. Oh,
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
They'll drop to throw. Sets up the screen to Gordon. It's a 1st down and more for Gordon. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Red zone opportunity.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right.
Hurry up, over!
We got 3.
Watch it now, Barney. Over!
They'll look to throw again. Buying time to his left. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Second and goal here from the 9. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And this offense on third down today, just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is third and goal. Now back to throw. It's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. And Lambeau will put this one through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right.
All right, here we go. Leopard, Black 99 Philly. Here we go. All right, here we go.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. Space to maneuver at the 40. The 40. The 30. 10. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great play there. 74 yards. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Here's Myers now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points.
You take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And good pressure defensively to stop him for a loss of a couple. Now there's also a flag to go with it. He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead he gets a hold.
And you don't see that very often on running plays from those guys because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
Watch tight end. Hey, 4 down.
All right, here we go. Watch it now, Barney.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. His throw incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but they're still deep in a hole. 15 yards still to go on 3rd down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
The Chargers on 3rd down are pretty anemic, very anemic. 1 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. He'll look to throw. He sets to fire deep. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On is the Chargers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Pardon that lovely description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball, just taking it. Big-time jaunt. Now if you're coming back in.
Oh, Fournette loses it. It's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So they almost turn it over there. Scary moment. 2nd down here.
Alert, alert. All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. 49, guys. 49.
They'll try the right side here with Fournette. They'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Good, got you now, Barney. Now let's go. Green 39. No. Try now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Out of the pistol, it's Fournette. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Gun! 319. Watch it now, Barney.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to go for a big play downfield.
Check.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 27. It's a big one there for the Chargers. 45 yards.
Strong left.
That one's him carry for Melvin Gordon. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Run,
And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they keep handing it to him.
And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked the ball off yet. That probably should have been there first. And it's third down now.
He's coming, double up. Crash down, crash.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. He'll look to throw. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Leopard, now let's go.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is incomplete. The fourth down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on first down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
Woo, baby! Get him, boys! Get him, boys!
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4.
Strong right, strong right, strong right.
They'll toss it to Fournette. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here.
Hurry up, here we go. 319. 319.
Stand up in.
The pitch to Fournette. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. And that'll set them back 5.
Double tight! Double tight! Hey, hey,
Set!
hey! You got 3,
319.
3 down, 3 down!
319.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship, and do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to EA Sports.